Suddenly my mouth was covered by a soft hand. I tried to resist, but I was bound by rope to the 4 bedposts that made the corners of my bed. That's when I hear a whisper. The soft whisper I realized belonged to Raven. I can't see shit in here. She then makes a mess of my nightstand, all in an attempt to turn on a lamp. Suddenly, a slight LED pierced the darkness, revealing what horror I already knew. It was Raven. She was wearing what she wore the night I stayed with her, her long plum hair gleaming in the LED. Listen here, you better not make one fucking noise. They won't hear you if you scream. As a matter of fact, no one will. She says, angered. I tried to squirm a little, but to no avail. Don't worry. I love your family. Don't cry. Because all I did was give them a small sedative. They'll wake up in the morning like usual. They'll just be more drowsy than usual. That and you'll be with me. Still not exactly sure what I will/want to do to you yet. I might just kill you. But honestly, she says while suddenly holding back the urge to cry. I too had been crying, but for different reasons. I didn't want to do this. I don't want to kill you. I love you a lot more if you're alive. How am I supposed to cuddle and hug and do other things with a tombstone? You're the only guy I've ever met that was actually worthwhile. That didn't just want me as a plaything. That didn't just want to hurt me. Now you want to leave me? She then begins to quietly sob as she puts her head on my chest. Raven, listen, I tried to say before I was interrupted by her putting tape over my mouth. Please, just shut up. Your heartbeat is soothing. I wasn't sure what to do at this point, so I just sat there for at least a couple of minutes while she listened to my heartbeat. She then said, "Wow, I almost lost this. You want me to leave?" I then see her ball her fist. Then suddenly, she slapped me across the face. Honestly, it wasn't super hard, but hard enough to get her point across. I saved your life. And leaving me is the thanks I get? I can just as easily take your life, she says while tears are streaming down her cheeks. You know how there are people that are ugly criers, and then there are some that make it so morbidly beautiful that you can't feel but genuine sorrow for whatever they're enduring, or have already endured? That was Raven. When she looked at me with tears in her eyes, I felt like a real monster, as if I did something truly horrible. I started to cry myself, not because I was scared, but because I felt so contrite for what I had done. She was right. Stalker or not, she did save my life. Plus, she was still just a hurt person, right? I think to myself, oh, now you're scared, aren't you? Things are beginning to come in my head. Voices are beginning to speak to me. I have to do something with you while in this position. Don't worry, I forgive you, but permission doesn't come free. But I'm sure you'll have fun with this too. Trust me, the last thing I want to do is hurt you. But least not intentionally, Raven says while smiling just a little. She then began licking my face, licking my tears. She then removed her top and her bra. Then she removed the tape from my mouth and began making out with me. I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy it. It was fine, to be honest. However, in the back of my mind, my conscience kept saying, "Oh great, we've got ourselves a psychopath, a dom, and a nymph. Not to mention she's a stalker. I really need to get a better taste in women." She then slowly went down to my waist and took off my boxers. She then took off her undergarments and things got more intimate than I had ever seen. I wasn't a big fan of sex, however, the sensation I was getting from her sexual intimacy was indescribable. By the look on her face, I could tell that she was enjoying it too, probably far more than I was. Honestly, I enjoyed it, but the concept of sex had always rubbed me the wrong way. Don't get me wrong, kissing, making out, etc., was nice. I really enjoyed that, but Raven took that to a whole new level. "You know, you're the only guy I've done this to, right?" Raven says while keeping the lovemaking session alive. "Right, done this to," I say in my smart aleck fashion. The same smart aleck fashion that gets me into trouble a lot of the time. Raven then hits me across the chest and says, "I bet you love this, don't you?" Look, I know how you feel about sex, but I personally think it's such an apothic thing. Nothing says love and trust like this. I've always been more of an action type of girl than words. Sure, there were people I had malevolent intentions to, well, live out my dark desires, but you're amazing. I remember you joking about wanting a girl of my particular taste. I'm your dream girl. You're my dream man, and honestly, I might just keep you locked away with me. I can't risk losing you ever again. But I know what you're thinking. Oh, it was just a joke. But I could tell by your voice, your eyes, you weren't joking. You really did want someone like me. Just like I wanted someone like you. We're a match made in hell, Raven says with a smirk as she continues to make love with me. After a few minutes, she got off and tied this leash to my neck. She then pulled out handcuffs and had cuffed me. She undid the restraints keeping me pinned to the bed and dressed me. Afterwards, she dressed herself. She then led me to her car and threw me in. I tried to resist, but each time I did, she just pulled the leash tighter, which would strangle me to the point I lost breath. She threw me in the trunk and slammed it shut. With a bang, I was surrounded by darkness. I then hear the car start and we pull out of my driveway. Oh God, where is she taking me? I ponder.